a burying place. I go with her, I'll fall, I will, to a burying place. Hang my head and cry, friend, I will, as she passes away. Hang my head and cry, friend, I will, as she passes away. I cry on.
The Mason-Dixon line was a line that divided anti-slavery states and pro-slavery states. It was established in the mid-1700s to settle a property dispute between Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon. It later became known as the line that separated the northern free states and the southern slave states during the 1800s and the American Civil War era.
The new fugitive slave law. In 1850, through the Missouri Compromise, it would come to bear heavy consequences on anyone who harbored a slave or anyone who helped a slave escape. Lawrence County, Ohio had a lot of people here that despised the slaves. Once they crossed the river here, it was very dangerous. It didn't end for them here. There was no way it could end for them here. So some of them would have to depend upon these iron masters, as they might call them, as far as John Campbell and John Rankin, who was not an iron master but an abolitionist, depend upon them for their freedom and their safety. Now, we know that Rankin, he had many documents. He's one that did keep documents. Of course, he wasn't a slave. He was a major conductor. He would assist many of them to cross the Ohio by putting lights in the windows, and they would climb the long steps to his house. And they would have other conductors headed toward possibly Chillicothe, maybe headed toward Athens County, maybe headed toward Gallipolis, believe it or not. I don't know why they would go that way, but there are some trails that lead to that area.
Reverend Rankin, with the help of family and fellow abolitionists, aided runaway slaves for over 40 years in Ripley, Ohio, just east of Cincinnati. An estimated 2,000 runaways crossed the Ohio River and were conducted farther north through this area. He founded the Ohio Anti-Slavery Society and persuaded many influential people to help with this cause. One of Rankin's stories of a runaway slave was the inspiration of a main character in Harriet Beecher Stowe's book, Uncle Tom's Cabin. In 1881, Reverend Rankin came to reside with his granddaughter in Ironton, Ohio, until his death in 1886.
After Reverend Rankin's wife died, they all got together. There was 8 or 9 children, and they thought this would be the best place. He was familiar with Ironton because he had visited here. So he came here to live with them, and they had a big house, and that's where he lived. And he died in that house.